And to even think of closing the camps in the middle of a mutating pandemic, it's impossible, it will be inhumane, and it will be completely against public health and human rights practices. By the end of March this year, the government of Kenya has, for the third time, called for the closure of Dadaab refugee camp. This could have devastating consequences for refugees because the camps are all these people has. This camp has existed for almost 3 decades, so 30 years, since the first arrivals came from Somalia. They were fleeing the civil war back in the early 1990s. And most of the young population in Dadaab has not even been in Somalia. As of today, the situation has not much changed over there. And this means Somalia today is still very much affected by violence, by conflict, by drought, by floods, which make survival quite tough. Today, they have no grip on their future. They depend on shrinking humanitarian assistance to survive. So abruptly closing the camps will only generate a new crisis, as going back to Somalia is not an option for them. And this comes also in a time in which MSF is already pretty much concerned about the mental health status of the population. Only in 2020, at least 3 persons committed suicide and over 20 attempted suicide in Dagahali. When you are in front of a refugee from Dadaab, like it was my case in Dagahali, you are only humbled by the level of resilience and endurance that these people have shown over the last decades. But we also know that this has a limit. It's very difficult for any human being to keep running with this level of uncertainty and with others card playing your future, with you having very little to do or very little to say. The very reason why today, 30 years after, Dadaab is still existing is because of the failed peace initiatives back in Somalia. So when I met one of the refugees and I asked him if it was up to you to write the last chapter of the Dadaab camp, what would that be? How would that look like? And his answer was quite simple but quite powerful. He answered, I would like a peaceful life. They need other options, and this is our call today. Refugees should have and deserve better options, and this is resettlement to third countries, integration into local communities, and for those who are willing to do so, going back to Somalia on voluntary basis. Today, personally, and as Médecins Sans Frontières, we join the refugees in their dream to one day leave Dadaab, to finally put an end to this chapter, but not at any cost.